Hello everyone! Today I have decided to open up a can of worms. This is going to be a longer video than normal. I am breaking all the YouTube video rules of having it under 4 minutes. Bear with me because I'm talking about some heavy stuff. Let me preface this with that I am well aware of the negative feedback I'm opening myself up to. However, I'm very passionate about this topic and feel obligated to instigate this discussion. Please be warned that I am going to be talking about abuse, such as abusive relationships, physical, emotional, verbal, and mental abuse, so let this be your trigger warning and proceed with caution. About a month and a half ago, someone introduced me to Wattpad. I'd heard about it before, but it wasn't until that moment that I decided to sign up and get an account. Within a day or two, another person had sent me a link to one of the most popular stories on Wattpad. They wanted to get my feedback and my thoughts on the story. This story is called After. There are 3 parts: After, After 2, and After 3. Suffice it to say, I only made it 3/4 of the way into After 2. I really couldn't handle the storyline anymore at that point. It is a fanfiction using One Direction's likeness and names, and the main characters are Tessa and Harry. The story, to be frank, is about their toxic fairy tale relationship that I will describe as nothing other than abuse. But I'll get to that in a moment. The story After has over 190 million reads. The story After 2 has over 185 million reads. And After 4 has over 440 million reads. Apparently I'm missing something in that 3rd part. I'm not sure how Wattpad calculates their reads, but I know that that is a serious amount of people reading this story. And the whole reason I am bringing up this discussion and doing this video is because I recently learned that the movie rights for this story has been picked up. And Simon & Schuster has decided to publish this series. Wow. And because of this, we need to talk about the giant pink elephant in the room that readers are either oblivious to or frankly they don't care. This isn't a love story. This is a story about abuse. The story is presented as such. Tessa, the young, vibrant college student who has the whole world in front of her, she's smart and naive and virgin-like, meets the rugged, hairy bad boy with tattoos and piercings and is rude. They meet and they fall in love, and this is their story. But in reality, their story isn't about an abusive relationship, which is the main problem I have with this. I'm not gonna argue back and forth. Instead, I'm going to ask you some questions, and with the final results, you can determine for yourself what you think of this story and whether or not it's a discussion that needs to be had. Here in front of me, I have a list of questions and checklist that a doctor or psychiatrist would give you to determine if you are in an abusive relationship. Since Tessa is a fictional character, I'm going to answer the questions on her behalf based on the experiences that she has in the story. Prepare yourself. If you answer yes to any of the following questions, you may be a victim of abuse. 1. Do you feel anxious or nervous when you're around your partner? Yes. Do you watch what you are doing in order to avoid making your partner angry or upset? Yes. Do you feel obligated or coerced into having sex with your partner? Yes. Are you afraid of voicing a different opinion than your partner? Yes. Does your partner criticize you or embarrass you in front of others? Yes. Does your partner always check up on what you have been doing and not believe your answers? Yes. Is your partner very jealous and does he accuse you of having affairs? Yes, 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 my God, yes. Does your partner tell you that he will stop beating you when you start behaving yourself? I'd like to point out that so far in the story of what I have read, there is no physical abuse. However, he has used the same manipulative terminology on Tessa. But since he hasn't technically beat her, I'm gonna give it a no. Have you stopped seeing your friends or family because of your partner's behavior? Yes. Does your partner's behavior make you feel as if you are wrong? Yes. Does your partner threaten to harm you? Yes. Do you try to please your partner rather than yourself in order to avoid being hurt? Yes. Does your partner keep you from going out or doing things that you want to do? Yes. Do you always feel that nothing you do is ever good enough for your partner? Yes. Does your partner say that if you try to leave him, you will never see your children again? Technically, there are no children involved in this story so far that I have read, but this is technically a no. Does your partner say that if you try to leave, he will kill himself or you? He never says it directly, but he has implied it. So yes. Is there always an excuse for your partner's behavior? The alcohol or drugs made me do it. My job is too stressful. If dinner was on time, I wouldn't have to hit you. I was just joking. Yes. Do you lie to your family, friends, and doctors about your bruises, cuts, and scratches? This one I can argue far more strongly than the other two questions that I have answered no to. So this one I am gonna give a yes. So far we have 16 out of 18. It goes on to say, in addition to those questions, consider the following two checklists. The first list includes signs of emotional abuse. You're probably the victim of emotional abuse if your partner repeatedly gives you destructive criticism, verbal threats, and browbeating. Yes. Always claims to be right. Yes. Excludes you from making decisions and claims to be the head of the household. Yes. Abuses your trust by lying, hiding important information and papers, cheating, or being inappropriately jealous. Yes. Minimizes or denies abusive behavior. Yes. Constantly shows disrespect, puts you down, or embarrasses you in front of others. Yes. Harasses you by following you or checking up on you. Yes. Prevents you from seeing your relatives or friends or insists on going everywhere with you. Yes. Monitors your phone calls. Yes. That was 9 for 9. The next list includes signs of physical abuse. You are a victim of physical abuse if your partner intimidates you through angry or threatening gestures. Yes. Destroys your belongings or household items. Yes. Coerces you to have sex or perform sexual acts against your will. Yes. Kicks, bites, stabs, pushes, burns, or chokes you. For technical reasons, I'm going to give this one a no. However, there was a scene where she tried to get between two guys and break up a fight, and he did push her away and she fell back onto the concrete. But again, I'm gonna say no. Uses weapons to threaten or harm you or others you love. Many times throughout this story, if a guy speaks to Tessa, if she hangs out with someone, or if they even look at her, he has said to them, quote, "I will kill you." That's 4 out of 5. Altogether, that was 32 points, and we said yes to 29 of them. 29. If you answered yes to one or more of these questions, or experienced these forms of emotional and physical abuse in your relationship, you should seek help. Abuse is not acceptable behavior, and it is not something you should learn to live with. Don't be a victim that keeps this a silent disease. Seek help from relatives, friends, law enforcement, or community resources. With their help, you may be able to stop the abuse, or, if necessary, leave the relationship. Realize that once the abuse has started, it will nearly always get worse. In light of the movie rights getting picked up and Simon & Schuster deciding to publish this story, I have decided to finish out the rest of the after series just to see how far down the rabbit hole this author will take me. And when I get done, I plan on doing a part 2 discussion of this. Please leave your thoughts down below and keep it civil, keep it intelligent, and keep the discussion going. Thanks so much for watching. I know that this video is really different from what I normally talk about, but I'm tired of being scared of trying to bring up these discussions, and I think these are the type of discussions that need to be had. Bye.